Welcome to the Real Digital Success Podcast. This is the podcast allergic to everything fake and addicted to everything online, authentic, and real. On this podcast, we discuss the things about online entrepreneurship that don't get talked about a lot, but are essential. I'm your host, Rocher, aka the meticulous marketer, the improbable interviewer, and the practical podcaster. Welcome to a new episode of the Real Digital Success Podcast. Today we have a special guest on the show. Her name is Jasmine Watts, and she is the founder of Miss Millenia Magazine, a website where she helps millennial people get money online. And what I found interesting about her website is that she's all about making money through brand partnerships and sponsored posts. So I thought it would be interesting to just ask her a few questions and see what we can learn so we can also take advantage of this opportunity. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Jasmine, welcome to the Real Digital Success Podcast. I came in, or at least I saw your content while I was looking for new ways to make money online, and then I saw your website. And to be honest, I was really interested in your approach in how to monetize websites. And I saw you had quite a bit of experience. So I have a question. Uh, because your website name is Miss Millenia Magazine. How did it started and how did you get into blogging?
Sure. Yeah, I love to share a little more about that. So thanks for having me here. I am excited to talk more about blogging and specifically how to make money blogging. I got into it when I graduated from college. I knew that I didn't want to pursue the career that I got my major in, which at that time was fashion.
Oh,
And I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do from there as far as a career. I knew I didn't want to do fashion anymore, but I didn't know what path I wanted to go down. I did freelance writing in college, so I knew that that was a path for me being able to write. But the word blog and blogging was not even in my vocabulary. I didn't know that was an option. So I did freelance writing for a while, realized that when I spoke to a lot of my peers, they were having issues as well. I graduated in 2010. This was when we had a recession in the States, and people were having trouble just finding jobs in general. So imagine graduating with a lot of student debt, um, not wanting to pursue the career that you got your major in, and talking to your friends and realizing that they're also struggling with finding jobs, even though they are pursuing a career in the majors that they decided to go in. And that's what led me to creating Miss Millenia Magazine. I wanted to capture more of those experiences and learn along the way about how I could pursue a career that I enjoyed while also helping other people learn from my experience. It started as a blog that was for millennials transitioning from college into adulthood. But for a lot of millennials, like we're well into our 30s at this
yeah.
point, it kind of transitioned into becoming your best possible self. So we write a lot of content that's for making money, saving money, and just overall personal development. So those are our main topics that we talk about now. It's definitely a lifestyle blog, which has helped me when it comes to bringing in income through sponsored post opportunities.
Mm.
Um, but at this point, it'll be 10 years I've been blogging
Wow.
in May.
Wow, that's so you're basically a veteran in the blogging game,
Yeah.
as you would say it. Yeah, interesting. I can relate to that a lot because I studied architecture, and just like you, I didn't really want to pursue that anymore, and then started getting into blogging as well. So it's really cool to know that there are a lot of people out there that go through that exact same journey. Even though I noticed that my money comes mostly from affiliate products, but as you said, most of your money comes from sponsored posts and brand partnerships. So, for those that don't know what sponsored posts and brand partnerships are, because we got a lot of people that aren't from the USA listening. Could you explain a little bit about what that is and how that works?
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. So a sponsored post is when you decide to work with a brand, and they agree upfront how much they're going to pay you to mention them on one of your channels. So that can be your blog, your YouTube channel, your social media account. What I like about sponsored post opportunities is it doesn't require a whole lot of skill. As long as you are writing content for your blog, they pretty much want you to stick to the same voice that you do for other blog
Oh.
posts on your site. So you don't have to worry about taking a course or learning or training for a while. I know I started with affiliate marketing too and failed quickly and just struggled with that for a while just because I had no idea what I was doing. Um, so with sponsored posts, it's just writing blog content, do the same thing that you already do and find a way to work the brand into the post in an organic way.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. Especially when the what you said about you don't need to learn a lot of things because these people want you to do what you're already doing. So that's pretty different from affiliate marketing, indeed, because I had to go to crazy courses and learn all kinds of new stuff to actually make it work. Me personally, once I saw your content, I was immediately interested in doing sponsored posts and how to do that. But I was very curious. How do you find opportunities to make money with sponsored posts and brand partnerships?
There are a couple of ways to find opportunities. The first is applying on different influencer networks. So when I first got my first sponsored post opportunity, it was for $50. I was super excited. And a brand actually reached out to me. They sent me an email and said, "Hey, we have this product. We'd love to send it to you. If you write about it, we'll pay you $50." And at that time, $50 was a whole lot of money because I was making like 30 cents a year or something like that with the AdSense. So I was just, overwhelmed with joy that, someone reached out to me and wanted me to write about their brand. So I decided to research how to find these opportunities and found influencer networks. Now, there are a ton of them. There are more being created every year. I have a list actually of 150 influencer networks. I'd be happy to share the link with you
Oh yeah.
for anyone who wants to sign up. And all it is my research I've done. I've cleaned it up recently too because some of these expire. Where you can go create an account. You pretty much create a profile on these networks with the link to your blog or your YouTube channel or podcast, how much traffic you're getting to your social media channels, and then you can apply for different opportunities.
Oh, that's really nice. How long did it take you to get to that or to get the deal from the first $50?
Let's see. Within when I actually, so I'll be frank here. When I
Yeah,
first started my blog, I had no idea what I was doing. I
same
didn't even
here.
have a content management system. Okay, so I was hand coding my site
Yeah.
because I
Oh
didn't
wow.
know that such a thing like WordPress existed. Um,
Oh wow. So you
yeah.
really just made one from scratch like that?
Yes, yeah. So that's what I was doing. And I wasn't seeing a lot of success doing that because I had to hand code every blog post I wrote. So it was just taking me a lot of time to not just write the content, but code it onto my site. And my site wasn't very stable because of that. Once I switched over to WordPress, which I didn't realize until about a year into me
Mm-hmm.
trying this, um, I was able to get that paid opportunity within a few months um, of me actually having a content management system. So it wasn't long. I wasn't getting a whole lot of traffic. I want to say I was probably getting like 2,000 followers a month or 2,000 page views. Um, so I wasn't getting a whole lot of traffic. I
Oh.
was not like experienced by any means. And that's what I love about sponsored posts. You don't have to have a lot of traffic to be successful with it. It's great for beginner bloggers who are looking to bring in income.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially when you can get it so early. Because I remember, like, I think I got my first paycheck, and that's affiliate marketing. That was in, I think, the seventh month or something. So if I compare it to that, then it sounds really good, especially on the short term. Because most of the time, affiliate marketing is like this long term game. Well, this seems like you can make money relatively quick. So that sounds like a real great opportunity to use. I wonder, how did it feel to get that first $50?
It felt awesome. I was actually at a point where I'm like, this doesn't work. I don't know how anyone makes money if they're not like an experienced marketer. At that time, I
Mhm.
was not. Um, and once I got that opportunity, I realized like, so I can get paid to blog. This is a possibility. It's changed a lot since that first $50 that I received. Now I can expect anywhere from 1,000 to a couple $1,000s for a single blog post.
Oh, wow.
I know some bloggers too. One blogger who is actually local here, she says that she does an ambassadorship with one brand, and what they pay her in with one opportunity is enough to cover all of her expenses for the year.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, it really does range depending on your niche and what type of opportunities you want to go for when it comes to different um, partnerships with brands. But yeah, there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting, especially when you combine it with the part that you don't need to learn a lot of new things, but you can still make money depending on what niche you are, and make a lot of it. This is the first time I actually heard that people make that much money from sponsored posts. I always reckoned in my mind that it would be like maybe $300 at the most. But people are really making a full-time income per post. That's pretty crazy to imagine, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. Applying for influencer networks is one way to get opportunities, but another way that I know a lot of bloggers do it once they've gotten into the rhythm is actually pitching brands. So finding different brands that you already enjoy, sending them an email saying, I would love to partner with you, and getting opportunities that way. I've actually gotten a lot of free like trips and just cool technology and things from pitching brands as well.
That's really cool. Just to take a different approach, and then instead of uh, they are coming to you, that you're coming to them. I also noticed though, because every now and then I get some emails about partnerships, but I noticed there are some partnerships where I'm like, this doesn't feel like it's a legit opportunity. Would you say there are types of partnerships that you wouldn't recommend doing as a blogger?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, there are lots of partnerships I would not recommend doing as a blogger. The first, I'll address the emails that you are probably referring to, the ones that say, hey, I'll pay for a link on your website. I don't want you to disclose what that is, and I pay
Yeah,
you X amount of dollars. Those are the type of partnerships that will get you in trouble
yeah,
with Google, just because they don't like people paying for links. You can also get in trouble with the Federal Trade Commission because you should be disclosing any paid partnerships that you're getting. And if you're not disclosing that on your blog, regardless of wherever you are in the world, then that's something that you could get in trouble with. Other partnerships I will also not recommend is if something doesn't fit you. So if you have a blog about gardening and you see this great opportunity, they're paying thousands of dollars for people to write about an alcoholic beverage, then it doesn't fit your blog. So you shouldn't waste your time applying for it, for that opportunity. So you definitely have to get good at being told no, rejection, because you will be told no if you're applying for
mm,
various opportunities. And you also have to get good at saying no to money, which for me was hard at first. But the alternative is just wasting your time. You don't want to
yeah.
apply for an opportunity that there's not a chance that you're going to get it. You can put that time into applying for opportunities that better fit your brand.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've also had like had an email. I think this was a few months ago from this brand, and they were looking also for sponsored posts and all the kind of stuff for their product. But they wanted me first to buy their products. So when I heard that, I was like, something doesn't feel right here. Have you had like also like people approaching you in that kind of way?
Yes, and it's so annoying. Of people who say, "I'll give you a discount on my product." Like, I was not going to buy your product to begin with, so no, I'm not going to take a discount. I will say though that for some of the brands that I pitch, I do blog posts in exchange for a product if it's something I'm asking for. So I know I've
Yeah.
done that for like hotel stays before, like, hey, I'm going on a vacation. I'm a blogger. I would love to, get this for free, and I'll write a blog post or do a tweet about you or something like that. And that has worked in my favor before.
That's really interesting. And something I would love to do myself once I get into sponsored posts. But I got a question because you've been doing this for 10 years, right? And
Mhm.
you have, from what I've seen, you've gathered quite an audience. What kind of methods do you use to get website readers to your blog?
So I use quite a few methods actually. The first is one, building my email list. I think that's my number one task when it comes to traffic. And the reason for that is because I do a weekly newsletter.
Hmm.
And in my weekly newsletter, I always include blog posts that were published that week. So that's one way to get traffic by sending it to your email list. I always see a spike in traffic on the days I send my newsletter.
Yeah.
And of course, just posting on social media. I have a whole strategy where I'm not only scheduling my blog posts on the days that they're published, but also scheduling them out. So 3 months from now, that same blog post is shared on my social media channels so that they never die out. I use a tool called Social Bee.
Hmm.
And what I like about it is it allows you to reuse social media posts you've done in the past. So once I publish a new post, I'll put it in Social Bee and it gets put into this rotation so that all my older articles are being shared without me having to manually go in and share them.
Oh, nice. I'll keep that in mind. You said the name was Social Bean?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Then I also have a question because I was reading a lot of your content and in your bio, and as you said, you started your website as a source to help millennials and specifically millennial women. Uh, I had a question since that is your mission. Where do you see yourself and this blog in maybe 5 to 10 years?
Oh wow, good question. Yeah, honestly, I would have never guessed that I've been blogging for 10 years, especially when I talk to other bloggers and see that there aren't a whole lot of them that have been blogging for 10 years plus.
Yeah.
So I find that to be interesting. Just thinking about me blogging for another 10 years. I guess
Yeah.
where I like to see myself is um, being in a place where I don't have to work anymore. Not necessarily just in my day job, but also on my blog, just putting it more so on autopilot and only focusing. I always tell my blogging buddies, like, my goal is to only do the fun things of blogging,
Yeah.
which is writing blog posts, writing newsletters, and not much of anything else. I feel like I'm getting closer to that. Right now, I probably put in between 10 to 15 hours a week on my blog. And I have a full-time job too, but
Uh,
I would love to get it closer to like, 1 to 2 hours a week. That would be nice. Uh,
yeah.
but in
That
due time, in due
sounds
time.
heavenly. Just 2 hours a week just blogging. It's
Right.
really something that I would want to do too. But it is really interesting, right? That blogging has become this very long-term thing. I was interviewing this blogger like 2 weeks ago, and she's also been in it for more than 10 years, and it's crazy because you see all the fluctuations. Because I can imagine that blogging when you started was very different in regards to what it is now, right? Especially with the marketing stuff and social media.
Oh yeah, like then I don't think bloggers even call themselves bloggers. They call themselves affiliate marketers or marketers.
Uh,
Um, I didn't, for those who were doing what I was trying to do, create a website so I can make money from it, they didn't call themselves bloggers. Then bloggers were the ones who just had, what was those? It was like um, a blogger account, and they're just writing, it's like a journal,
Oh yeah, yeah,
an
yeah.
online journal saying, this is what I did today. Here's a picture for my day. Like that, those were the bloggers then.
Yeah, because do you also do like SEO and stuff?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that probably would have been crazy over the span of the last 10 years, seeing all those changes and stuff.
Yes, it's enough to drive you nuts. I mean, the changes on SEO, the changes with social media, all the different social media platforms that have emerged since I've been blogging. And I'll be honest, I've been a late bloomer to every single one of them. Every time I'm like, okay, why, how do we know that this is going to be the next big thing? How do we know that this is going to go anywhere? And I always figure when Facebook first happened, I'm like, okay, this is great. When Twitter came out, and I never took Twitter seriously. Like, okay, I guess there's Facebook people and there's Twitter people.
Same.
I didn't think that there would be people who are also on Facebook and Twitter. And honestly, I feel like bloggers have kind of owned this space as far as being on everything. Even now, I feel like most people, they choose one or two social media platforms to be on. They may have an account, but they don't spend their time on all of them. They spend their
Yeah,
time on one or two.
yeah. I'm exactly the same way. I've been a late bloomer to basically everything too. I just started with doing a little bit more stuff on Instagram, even though it's been around for ages. But yeah, it's really hard to find which platform works and which don't. Because on one side, I wanted to do the Gary Vee approach and just try out everything a little bit and see what works. But still, you never know what happens, especially, for example, with the TikTok stuff that's going on right now, with the potential ban. So you could have like spent so much energy in building a TikTok and then it's all gone before you know it. It's really
Agreed.
crazy how that goes.
Agreed. And same thing like with Snapchat. Like it's barely, anyone barely talks about Snapchat anymore because Instagram and Facebook have pretty much,
Yeah.
they do the exact same thing Snapchat did.
Yeah, that's why I most of the time wait till Instagram takes it over or something, or Facebook, and then it's like, I can just do it there. Because most
Right.
of the time that is what happens, right? Yeah, but still got a question, right? Because you said you had this list of opportunities for make money sponsor posts to get back on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, where can people find it?
So let me see here. If you wanted to get that list of sponsored post opportunities,
Yeah,
you would go to my website, missmillmag.com,
yeah.
and it's dash sponsored dash posts dash lists. And I'm just going to double check to make sure that's correct.
Okay.
Make
Yeah,
sure that that's
otherwise
correct.
I'll just put a link or something for the viewers or
Okay,
listeners in this in this case.
good.
Uh, and then
Yeah,
they can click on that or make some kind of special link. Maybe that's easier to get to.
right.
But I'll make sure that the listeners get to where they need to be. But yeah, to wrap this podcast interview up, I have one more question. Since this is the podcast where we get into the real things behind online entrepreneurship and online marketing, in regards to blogging or brand partnerships, is there something that you're of the opinion that doesn't get talked about enough?
Yeah, I think just talking about sponsor posts in general, I think it's interesting. You said you haven't heard as much about it. And I feel like when it is talked about, at least in my experience, it's always with a negative view, like, oh, you only get paid when you write that article. Whereas if you do affiliate marketing, you get passive income. And don't get me wrong, passive income is great, but it also requires a lot of skill to be able to make passive income. Sponsor posts are a great way to get your foot in the door and be able to bring in income that way. That's why I created my course, Blogging Money Formula, where I go step by step with bloggers and show them um, how to know if your blog is ready to make money, first of all, and getting those blogging basics down before you can, as
Yeah.
well as focusing on things to one, find those networks that we were talking about. Um, so that you can apply for different opportunities, how to pitch brands. I provide templates. I even have a calculator that I've developed that shows you how much you should be charging for those different opportunities.
Oh, nice.
So it's just like a full step-by-step course that shows you how to start making money with sponsored posts. And I even have a Facebook group. So if you run into any questions while going through the course, you can ask me at any time. And then I also do a monthly Q&A with all of my members. So that's something that is on sale. You can buy it, Blogging Money Formula, and you get that by going to missmillmag.com/blogging-money-formula.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll put a link to that also in on the page for the podcast, so people can find that. It was really interesting talking to you. I've learned a lot, especially since, as you said, I never heard a lot about sponsored posts and brand partnerships. So it's something I'm going to make a goal for myself to get into. So don't be surprised if you see me as a new member of your course.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me again. I've really enjoyed talking about blogging with you.
Yeah, thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to be here and have this talk. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this week's episode with Jasmine Watts from MissMillMag.com. As I said, if you want to watch more of her content, you can just go to MissMillMag.com. And if you're interested in that sponsored list, you can go to MissMillMag.com/sponsored-posts-list, where you can sign up, and you'll get the list with all the opportunities that you can use to make money from sponsored posts and brand partnership. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. This is the podcast allergic to everything fake and addicted to everything online, authentic, and real. This was a episode of the Real Digital Success Podcast. Peace.